Hey everyone, Doug with Theme Park DNA here. Today, I've got something I forgot about. Really, I'm getting ready to sell some stuff that I don't need anymore. And I was going through, getting ready some of my Frankensabers that I got from Ultrasabers, and I realized I've never reviewed this one. I believe this is the fourth one that I've got. I got 6 total. Got 6 Frankensabers total. I think I'm going to keep the first 3 and I'm going to sell the last 3. And I want to talk about the fourth one today. So this one, out of the last 3, this is definitely my favorite. And I mean, I'm kind of on the edge of keeping it, but I've got too much I need to get rid of. So, but it hurts me too. This is a really, really nice Frankensaber. Like most Frankensabers, unless you pay extra, it is a stunt saber, and this one is in fire orange. I got a lot of sabers in fire orange through mystery boxes, and probably about half of my Frankensabers are in fire orange, and I like the orange color. It's just I much prefer that more vibrant orange than the light orange. I recently put an amber LED in my Cyber Assassin, and it is a similar color, so I think I need to do a comparison video with the Ultrasabers Fire Orange, which is one of their standard colors, and the Saber Forge Amber. So let's talk about this Frankensaber. So for those of you who are not familiar, the Frankensaber is a lightsaber that Ultrasabers makes. They used to sell it separately and they stopped, and now they pretty much give them, I use that term loosely, they give them away during promotions that they have been doing 3 to 4 times a year. And so usually you have to purchase a certain monetary value of sabers during the promotion in order to get a lightsaber. It used to be $1,200, and and more recently I believe it's $1,300. And I was ordering a bunch of mystery boxes anyway for unboxing videos and to review the sabers. So that's what I did to get my Frankensabers. I've sold almost all of them now. The mystery boxes, that is. And I really like the Frankensaber. I like the idea of it. So what they do in order to make a Frankensaber is basically just take a bunch of different parts and put them together and make something unique out of it. And it's a Frankensaber in that, like Frankenstein was made out of parts from different people. This lightsaber is made from parts from different lightsabers, and so it's kind of a mix and match, and sometimes it looks really mix and match, and some of them they kind of did a really good job of matching it together, and I think this is one of them. So let's talk about some numbers. It's not a small saber. So we're looking at right at almost exactly 15.5 inches. So there's plenty of length there. The widest point, I'm not sure, is going to be the pommel or the emitter. So let's take a look at both. I need to get a hold of my calipers again, make it a little more exact. But this looks like this is coming in at 2.5 inches from tip of spike to tip of spike here. And the widest point on the emitter looks like it's about the same, about 2.5 inches. So widest points are 2.5 inches. The most narrow point, well, where is that gonna be? I suppose it's gonna be down here at the pommel. That really shouldn't count though, because it's not an area that you really handle, but it's about 1.5 inches. And right here above the switch is probably the thinnest part that you're gonna handle. and it's going to be just a hair over 1.5 inches, but between 1.5 inches and 1.75 inches. The rest of the hilt is about 1.75 inches. So a little bit bigger, but that never really bothered me. Some people get really upset with how big these are, and they are. You know, they're big. There's nothing to say about that. And there's no way to get around that. It's a bigger lightsaber, but it just never bothered me as much. I mean, it's still pretty comfortable. I can get my hand around it. Close my thumb over my other fingers, so it's not that bad. Plus, installing these are a whole lot easier. Chassis are easier to find. It's much more forgiving because there's a lot more space on the inside. Speaking of space, this has just got 2 AA batteries instead of the standard 4 AAAs. I love this red anodization on the aluminum. It looks great. The red looks so vibrant, but you can kind of tell they're not all quite the same color red, and I don't know if it has to do with the aluminum underneath or the actual anodized coating. I think it's the latter, but they're ever so slightly. There's 4 different colors of red here from the 4 different sabers that the parts come from. Speaking of the 4 different sabers that these parts come from, let's talk about that. Starting at the pommel, this is one of my favorite Ultrasabers pommels, and I don't have it anywhere else, and it would be a shame to break it up from this saber, but I mean, I'm tempted to hold on to that pommel because it is amazing. So this is off of the Mantis, the Crimson Mantis, and I consider that I have enough Ultrasabers, so I'm not really in the market to buy any more. But if I were going to get any more Ultrasabers, I think I might want a Mantis, and the Renegade. That Renegade LE is a great looking saber. I know it's a monster, but I don't know. I dig that blade claw on it and the emitters. But also this Mantis pommel, it's got spikes on it. They're not sharp at all, but it just looks amazing. And this actually comes apart. You can just use this part. You can remove the spikes, but why would you? They look great. So moving up to the grip section, this is one of my favorite grips on an Ultrasabers lightsaber. This comes from the Fallen, right? The Crimson Fallen, and it's great. It's amazing. This grip, like I've reviewed the Fallen a little ways back, but if I think about it, I maybe can link that in the description. But the grip is phenomenal, and it's actually much lighter than you think it is. It looks like a beast, but it's really pretty lightweight. And so that grip and the lightweight combination is a good one to have. Now, most people complain about the size, but I will note, so this is a CoverTech wheel, and the space between the CoverTech wheel and the switch will actually hold my hand just fine without the CoverTech in the way, without accidentally hitting the switch. I kind of like this length, at least from the switch to the CoverTech wheel. I wish there was a little more consideration sometimes on placement of the CoverTech wheel, because about half the time it's in the way, and this one is just barely not, and it's pretty nice. On the back we have a recharge port, but as we know, this is a stunt saber. It doesn't have rechargeable batteries in it, so this recharge port is installed, but it's not soldered to anything that I can tell without gutting it. Moving up, I've talked before about this faux control box. I don't really care for it. It's sharp and it's like right in the middle of being in the way. And this is probably one of my favorite places to grip either the Fallen and this saber, and that is just constantly in the way. There is a way to remove it. It's just got a friction pin in a hole right here, so you could very gently just pull that out. I've got a friend who's done just that. So you can take that out and then find something to kind of cover up that hole, but it's a very small hole. It's just a single pin, and I think this would be a lot more comfortable. On the Fallen, it kind of makes sense to leave it because there's a little bit of a control box or something that looks a little bit like a control box on most of those Fallen Order sabers, but this one's too big and the corners are too sharp and it's in the way. That being said, I gotta say they do a really good job on the anodization, particularly the red and the blue, the azure. They look fantastic, and they did a really good job of filling in the red in this area that's been removed and not getting it anywhere else. It looks really good. So moving up, we have this emitter, and we'll just say this whole section is the emitter, but it actually is in two parts. This comes from the Menace, the Crimson Menace, and which is the Darth Maul inspired lightsaber, and this is just a sleeve, and it kind of free turns. The only thing that's keeping this in place is that the emitter is screwed down on top of it, but it doesn't really line up quite right because these were for different sabers, but it still looks really cool. I ain't mad at them. This looks pretty nice. It's not sharp enough to be a problem, and it's great for grip. You get a lot of traction on this area right here, but the aluminum's a little thinner than I like, and this area right here can be, if you catch it on something, it will bend. So the very end of the emitter on this lightsaber is from a Dimenticide, the Crimson Dimenticide, which is the Exar Kun themed staff that Ultrasabers makes, and it is an amazing emitter. It's one of my favorites. I actually have two of just the emitters. I have a black one and a red one just like this, and it looks great, and it's actually pretty comfortable. You can grip it all the way to here, and it gives you a little something to kind of dig your fingers into. It looks amazing, and it's simple, and there's no front or back. So you can put this on any saber. It doesn't matter about the thread length and that the emitter, you put it on a different saber and then now it's facing the wrong direction or it's off-centered. This one is always going to be centered because it's just a round emitter, and it's one of my favorite emitters they make. We have a single blade retention screw, and it came with a 36-inch blade. This is going to be their Ultra Edge blade. It's a medium weight blade. It does have a good bit of bend in it, but I actually really like this blade because it's lightweight, and you know, I don't really beat up my sabers that much. I mean, I do spar a little bit, but nothing to where I absolutely must have a heavyweight blade, and the heavy blade is a good bit heavier. It just messes up the balance for me. So speaking of balance, this one is wonderfully balanced, and for such a big lightsaber, over 15 inches, it is surprisingly easy to handle one-handed. Right here is not the balance point per se, but I believe it's somewhere right here on the edge. It's close. And this being such a lightweight hilt combines to make this a very easy to handle saber, certainly really easy two-handed, and even one-handed is really no problem due to how balanced it is and how lightweight it is compared to the size. Let's take a look at the weight. So here's the weight with a 36-inch blade on it. 1 pound, 9.4 ounces, which is also 25.4 ounces, or 72 grams. So let's look at the weight without a blade. 1 pound, 4.2 ounces, which is also 20.2 ounces, or 574 grams. So this is a giveaway video. I will link in the description below. I'll send a link to my giveaway video explaining the giveaway. But if you are a public subscriber and you like and comment on this video, you have a chance to win one of several prizes. I think there's 12 or 13. I have 15 things that I'm giving away in a giveaway. I've got 3 Star Wars Christmas ornaments, 9 blade plugs, a faux control box, kill key, and 2 lightsabers. So all you have to do is hit that subscription button. Make sure that your subscriptions are set to public so that I can see that you're a subscriber. And like and comment on this video and every other video that's labeled lightsaber giveaway, and you'll have a chance to win one of those prizes. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this Frankensaber? Like it? You don't like it? I want to hear what you have to say. If you like this content, let me know with a thumbs up. It really does help out the channel. That's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching.